camping in a tent, but I needed electricity and a bathroom, so we decided to go glamping.
I came on this trip to spend time with you and our friends, not you and your phone.
What was that? This is a nightmare.
No.
I need to get the keys. I need to get out of here.
Opinions, viewpoints, and beliefs presented on this program do not necessarily reflect those of the management, the affiliates and broadcast partners, or the sponsors. Listener discretion is advised.
Scarefest Radio, the radio you can see.
And good evening and welcome everyone to another episode of Scarefest Television. The original broadcast date, December 8th, 2023. We've got technically one more real episode this year, and then we'll skip Christmas, and then we'll have our holiday party, and the year's done. 2023 is behind us. Tonight, okay, let me preface this by saying Chad Harlan was going to be my co-host tonight, and he had a work emergency and could not be here. So we reached into our little bag of tricks, and we are introducing tonight Barbara Jane. Barbara Jane is going to be one of our rotating co-hosts, and she was going to be doing it in February, but now she's in December because I needed her. Hi, Barbara. Welcome. You can speak now.
Hello.
Yes.
Hi.
Mics are hot. So everybody, yeah, she was going to come on and interview a author with us. And since my guest tonight wrote her movie, we said, hey, same difference. Practically same thing. Rosemary Idisi is our guest tonight. Did I say it right that time?
You said it right. Perfect.
Okay. Between ignorance and the Kentucky accent, you just never know what's going to happen. Okay, everybody, she wrote and starred in a movie called Glamping. A little short, 15 minutes. Could have been longer because it was that good. And here's the description. Of course, you saw the trailer. A suspenseful horror film following a group of friends as they travel to an Airbnb in Big Bear, California for a weekend glamping trip. Things quickly take a turn for the worse, and their friendships are tested. That does not do your short justice. I'll just go ahead and put it out there. If you're taking this any more film festivals, you need to make that pop a little more.
Okay. Noted.
Now, okay, first question. Are you still on the film festival circuit? Where are we at with this?
Oh, yeah. We just submitted to a bunch of them in LA, so waiting to hear. Our first rollout of submissions were mainly focused on Halloween, so a lot of them have passed October, everything. So now we're just submitting for stuff locally and just waiting to hear back. But it's been doing pretty good.
Now when you wrote this, I'm ignorant of the entire creative process when it comes to these short films. When you wrote this, first of all, before we even get into the whole raising money and that kind of bullshit, did you write this as we see it? Did you have that 15-minute short in mind, or was it bigger, smaller? How did you envision this when you were writing?
It was significantly bigger. I went glamping with my girlfriends, and then we just were on our phones the entire time, and then I started just thinking, I was like, this could go really, really bad. And then I literally went home and started writing, and at first it had to be it was like 50 plus pages when I first did it. And then, yeah, for the short and for the budget, I had to dial it back so much. So I cut out so much, which I feel like even when you watch the film, there's probably some questions because there's stuff that could be explained. And so I do really want to make it a feature so I could write about it just for so many more pages.
Well, that's before you came in the room with us, we were talking about it. That's how my favorite shorts are generally the ones that I wish were a little longer. Now,
right.
I want to also add, I've seen a lot of features that I wish were shorts, just so you know. Because with glamping, everyone, basically you're kind of dropped into the story. It's some of the drama's already happened, and we just kind of get it told to us. So that, so yeah, I can totally see this making. If you decide to redo it don't go over 90 minutes. Just don't.
Okay. Oh yeah, I don't think it would need to be 90 more.
No. Between an hour and a half, that would be good. But no, you did a great job, and like I said, everyone, this was the best short for the Scarefest Film Festival. And before I toss it over to Barbara, I'm gonna tell everybody how we scored them. We had 7 judges. Now, not every judge got to watch every movie, but in this case, all 7 of them did see this movie. Now, the math problem, I like math problems. Not that I'm good at math. I just don't like politics. I don't like I don't like being able to be swayed. So what I did, I set up the festival this year where every judge got to go or that, up or down. That was it. And that just meant the film is good enough or it's not. This one got 100%. All judges watched it, and all of them said this was good enough to be in the festival. And then kind of ran away too with the best short award. I'll just tell you. Yeah, it I forget, there was a couple other nominated, but yeah, it was not a tie. I'll put it that way. Some of them we had to have tiebreakers. You cleaned house. Barbara, over to you.
Oh. Hi, Rosemary. Hi again.
Hey.
So first, I just wanted to say congrats, because I know you starred in other things before, but this is the first time that you actually got to star in something that you yourself wrote. So this is like your baby, right?
Yeah. I say that all the time. It's my baby, like my child.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yes. So that's amazing. Congrats. I know there's plenty of writers out there that would love to see something of their own creation up on screen. So I wish
it's an amazing thing.
Very good. No, I was looking ahead to like kind of into your background, and I know that you've used like the Meisner technique. I was wondering if you could share that with us, how that helps you to prepare for a role.
Right. I love the Meisner technique. I've been studying it for probably 2.5 years, and it's just amazing. You basically focus on behaving truthfully under imaginary circumstances, whether that is you digging into your own personal life to tie that into whatever character you're playing, or also you have to focus on your other character's behavior so much and just responding truthfully regardless of what you're thinking. So I think that method has helped me stay super grounded, stay super invested and into it. I feel like with that training, I just don't have to do too much, I feel like, because I just have it in me. Like on set, I felt super confident, super comfortable with my castmates, and yeah, I mean, it worked because I got really great feedback from the film. So yeah, that technique, I think it's the best for just being truthful and honest and believable on screen. It's awesome.
Excellent. Yeah, I noticed that. And one of the things that Wes and I were talking about before you even logged on was just the believability. There are some full-on movies that have played at the theater that I'm like, I don't believe anything that I'm seeing here. Right. But with you, I believed it. It felt real. It felt, like when it ended, I even told Wes, I was like, oh, I wanted more, and that's good. Right. That's what you want your viewers, you want them to just be pulled in so that they're craving more of what you put out there. So that's good. I think right. for that being your first creation, your first project that you did, like you're already like off to a running start,
Thank you. So, thank you. I really appreciate
welcome. That. And then I know that Wes has asked a lot of mostly what I wanted to ask, but
figures.
That just means great minds think alike, right? But I did want to ask if you could share some of what you had to prepare for, not just for the role, but I mean, like, what did you guys choose for location? And how leading up to that, getting everything to be just right as you wanted from your writing.
Right. This was probably the most work I've ever done in my life, because writing it and then producing it and then starring in it, and then I cast it as well, everything, and then I did the location scouting. I literally felt like a puppeteer because I was just doing everything. I became like obsessed with it. So first, I cast majority of people. I go to Playhouse West here in LA. So I cast a lot of people that I was in class with that I knew were good actors and I could see in the role. It also helped me writing it because I kind of wrote the people that were in my class, kind of. And then location, I knew I wanted to film in Big Bear in a cabin. Problem with that was it wasn't deserted enough, or any of the deserted sets were like way too expensive. So I just got on the app Gigster, and then I just found the best, cheapest cabin that I could rent for one day, because we only shot this in one day. Because
That's amazing.
Yeah, a lot of people get shocked when I say that. It was just a one-day shoot. We probably 16 hours, I think. We were there like at the crack of dawn and filmed all the way through the night. So yeah, 16 hours.
Yeah. Great job.
Location scouting. Thank you. I just was scrolling on the app. I didn't go anywhere physically and see. I had been to Big Bear, so I knew what it was like, and I just saw an amazing cabin, booked it, and then a lot of the fundraising, I had GoFundMe. I just started sending it to everyone I knew, everyone, and then we met our budget, and then the rest was just hiring a crew. And it's great just knowing people in the industry that are trying to have more projects under their belt. So I was just I was sending 1 million emails a day, reaching out, seeing who I could bring on board. I found an amazing cinematographer, and yeah, it kind of just, all the pieces just fell into place. Yeah.
Well, I was
just a lot of emails.
Something that I had been talking to Wes about too was the audio, how there's music playing in the cabin, and then as it pans out where it's outside, that music gets quieter, and I'm like, that is what you should hear. And that kind of detail isn't always conveyed in some movies, and we as viewers, we pay attention to that. So just a small detail like that really, I think, matters. So now a question that I had too with someone like Stephen King, he's been known, he has said in interviews that he'll write and write and write. He'll have like books that are basically like in a vault, and he just pulls it out when he wants to publish it. Now, is this something that you're just write, you have different projects laid out, and maybe at some point you'll pull one out and expand on that a little bit more? Or do you kind of just take it as it comes, one at a time?
Oh, for sure, one at a time. Right now, I'm still obsessed with glamping, and I do want to turn that into a feature, so all my attention is on that. I have had some ideas for writing a new one, and I feel like I'll start eventually, but I'm just the type of person, like, if I'm like focused on something, I have to like zero in on it and focus it and then keep going. But that script, I have like 8 different versions of just the script for glamping that I'm going to try to all in one. Yeah, I edited and edited and edited and edited, and yeah, it's a lot. So that everything I have written is basically glamping.
That's great. I know we are right at the time that Wes wants to do commercial break, so I will put it back over to Wes.
Everybody, we'll be right back with more Scarefest TV.
Horror. Movie. Fans. For. Life. On Facebook. Find us. For watch parties. For news. For memes. For friends. For life. Horror movie fans for life. Join us.
And welcome back, everybody, to Scarefest Television. Guest tonight, Rosemary Idisi. First of all, on your IMDb, it says you are Nigerian American.
Yes.
I'm assuming that you moved out pretty early.
When I was 10, we moved to America. So yeah.
Okay, now this is me. Okay, I don't mean to sound like a redneck Kentuckian. You got no accent. In other words, you were saying, "Oh, I grew up in the South." I would think you would have some of that more culturally embedded into your being.
Yeah. So it's funny because when I first moved here, it was strong, and I hated it because I moved in 5th grade. And, the kids were ruthless. They were just joking on me, because we moved to a little country, small town in Virginia from Nigeria. They had never met anyone with like an accent like mine. And so, I tried everything to like get rid of that accent. And then eventually it kind of worked. And now it's like a whole like identity crisis thing. I was born and lived there till I was 10. And you would not know today. And I did everything I could. I was watching music videos, everything. And sometimes my mom would be like, "Why are you talking like that?" I was trying to get rid of the accent. So
But no. Great job, by the way. Great. Of course, I don't know what a Nigerian accent sounds like. I just know that's not it. Now, I do want to throw in there the Meisner technique. Really, Barb? My follow-up would have been, what the? Never mind. Anyway, when you were making the short, what turned out, were there any challenges that were harder than you expected going into it?
Yes. Let's see. Probably the biggest one was filming it in one day. We thought, one day, it's just 15 pages. We can get this done. I think it was like 14 pages, and it moved quick. So moving on set, there were scenes that, like, even that last scene with me, that was shot in 2 takes. We only had 1 good take of it. So it was like, we started getting a little frustrated on set because it was moving. We had to move so quick. We went into it thinking we had all the time in the world, but on set, it just moved. So then we started panicking. By the end, I think everybody was like stressed out. It could be felt. It was just a lot of anxiety going around. So definitely overestimating our time, and then getting things to translate. Like, I wrote it one way, but then like rehearsing it, like anything with stunts, fighting, writing it is one thing, but then getting it to, what's the word? Just getting it to translate on screen is completely different, and getting it to look real. So then I had to bring on someone like a stunt coordinator to help us out, and it still was looking wonky. And so then nervous for set, but then the boys just had to rehearse, and we perfected it. But writing stunts and then filming stunts is it's crazy. So that was tough.
How does this budgeting work? And I don't want to go out and left field too far into the weeds, but I'm trying to picture, do you raise a certain amount of money and then just get your legal pad out and just say, okay, that much money goes to that? Or, did you have your budget ahead of time and said, we have to raise this much money to get this done? Give us a Cliff Notes version of how that process works.
Yeah. So at first I had a budget. I knew how much I had in my savings account, and I was like, you know what? I'm just going to use this whole thing and film. That was probably like $1,000. And then basically anyone I talked to the cinematographer, he alone was $1,000. So then I realized, like, wow, the budget, you can't, I just felt like I couldn't, I went in super low. So I was like, I have to fundraise, because then I need an AD, a DP, a sound mixer, everybody. I just need everybody. And then the editor alone, colorist, everything. So then I just listed everything that I would need, and then I built my budget from that, and then I started fundraising, and then I literally spammed everybody. You should have seen me. People were probably sick of me. I sent it to everyone until I had enough money. I was like, give me your money. And then we did it, and then I paid everyone. I met my goal, and then from that budget, I just paid everyone the exact amount after.
So there's a lot of book work involved. The other thing I did want to ask you, I understand how the casting worked. Your director, Rayanne Carlson. Now, how does one? Most of our short films, in particular, but our independent films in general, that I notice anyway, it's always I wrote and directed and So I'm just wondering, how does someone coming from your angle, from the writer, this is my first project, how do you get who was obviously a good director? How do you cast a director?
Well, I wanted to direct it first, but then I felt like, okay, I'm doing too much. I'm going to write this thing and then I'm the lead in it and then I'm directing myself and everyone on set. I just felt like it would have gone horribly. It was too much. So I actually had been in class with Rayanne for a while and she's just a phenomenal actress. She'd never directed anything in her life. And my goal was to just get everyone at my school involved, the people I knew. I wanted us to just come together. So I cast everyone and then, I reached out to her because we had done a 48-hour film festival and Rayanne technically directed that. It was just within our school and she directed me on that and I was like, wow, she's so patient, she's so kind, she clearly is talented. So then I just asked her and she was like, yeah, she read the script and she came on and then she just understood me. I feel like if you pick a director, they have to understand you and your vision. And from the minute she read the script and she and I talked, she just understood me. And so I was super excited to have her direct. She's amazing.
Barbara, over to you.
Hi, Barbara.
Well, hello again. So now with your, do you want to stay within a certain genre? Is that your thought process? Are you, for any future projects that you do, are you looking at staying with like horror / thriller / suspense?
No, I do have a thing for horror. I don't know what it is, but I just love it. I love it.
Well, you're good at it.
Yes, I just had a horror audition the other day. So I love horror. So I would love to stay in that, but not just that. I would love to branch out. I feel like I love drama. I love comedies. Romance is probably I tried to add romance in the script. I just love anything romance. My dream role is like a romantic lead. Yeah. So
romantic lead in a horror film, right?
Exactly. That would be perfect. I would love it. My career would be made.
Now, as far as any future type of work, are you thinking that you would like to put out more shorts, or really was this just kind of a jumping point for you, as far as getting into something bigger? So I know sometimes those little bite size are a nice little teaser too, right?
Yes, for sure. I want to create more shorts. I really only did this one because I was tired of waiting, for Hollywood to give me an opportunity to do something like this. So I was just like, okay, I'm just going to do something myself and create it. And I didn't think I could do it. And then the fact that I did do it just makes me want to do more. So I definitely see myself making a lot more shorts. Definitely. Also, I feel like I could definitely it'd be easier for me to do it now. It would just get easier and easier, I feel. So for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And then as far as, because you had already mentioned that you would love to see glamping turn into something bigger, of course, and you could even, you don't even necessarily have to use the same cast. You could go with a whole different cast, right? Or would you just expand on what you have?
I could go with, like, if I could get like a well-known actor to play in it, because sometimes it's all about names, who's attached to it.
That's absolutely true.
Exactly. So if I could send out the script to someone and have someone, a well-known I would recast it.
Okay.
Sure. Yeah. Okay. I love the actors that are in it, but for something bigger, I may. Yeah.
Okay. And are you a fan of movies like M. Night's where there's a little twist at the end? You could play with it?
Oh, yeah. Oh,
okay.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
All right.
Anything with a twist.
You.
Yeah. Anything with a twist, I love. So for sure.
Yes. Me too. So now going forward, obviously, you've kind of got these things laid out for you. Is there anyone that in your life that you've maybe taken classes with that you're thinking like, okay, I really want to keep them in the back of my mind because I know that they would be good for like a certain role, whether it be the romance genre or horror, suspense, comedy, anything like that?
Several. I just feel like, so I've been at Playhouse West for about 2.5 years. So I'm at the advanced level with just people that have been training there for years. And the amount of talent in that class is insane. Every week, I'm just blown away. That's why it was so easy to cast this. So I'd probably say everyone in my class, there are just some really talented actors that are trying to make it. I would put any one of them in my films. That's what I really wanted to do with this. I wanted to also give them an opportunity, so I put them all in it. And for future stuff, I would love to bring other people in that I've studied with. Everyone's just so talented. It's amazing.
Yeah, that helps that you're surrounded by that. You know, it's kind of easy to pick from.
Exactly.
When you've taken classes and you've seen their work too. So
exactly.
Now Wes already was talking about budgeting, but I know in the future, like if you do have something else come out, having this as kind of a, hey, look, I did this and this was pretty successful, to show others, is that kind of a route you would probably take, is to do like a Kickstarter or something for your next one as well?
Oh, for sure. I feel like I will always use glamping. I mean, it was my first, and yeah, I will always use it as like a diving board into whatever I do. I'm pretty proud of it, and I think anything else, whatever comes from it, I hope will be even better, and I can just reference this is how I got my start. I'm super proud of it. Like you said, yeah.
Well, I know some people would probably be a little like, something that they just came out with maybe is not something they're proud of, and it's something like even celebrities that you'll see that they're a little embarrassed maybe of something that they did in the past, but you don't have that. I mean, yours was your very first child.
Yes.
Was successful, so yes, very much congrats on that. And I know we're gearing up to around 8:30, so I know Wes will probably want to take it over from here then.
Everybody, we'll be right back. We have our messages, our announcements, typical business bullshit. Be right back.
Are you a fan of horror movies, books, comics, music, and collectibles? Rue Morgue magazine is for you. Subscribe today to receive 6 or 12 print issues annually and join me, executive editor Andrea Subissati, on an ongoing journey through the horror genre of the past, present, and future. Plus, get access to unmissable special editions such as A Century of Witches, 50 Years of Gore Cinema, British horror movies, and so much more. Rue Morgue, the world's premier horror and culture and entertainment magazine since 1997. Accept no substitute.
Hey everybody, don't forget this weekend, December 9th and 10th, the Central Kentucky Mystical Market is on. Lexington's premier monthly psychic and holistic event right on Newtown Pike, just off the interstate at the Clarion Hotel in the Paddock Ballroom. Why do I always have to hesitate when I say Paddock Ballroom? Anyway, Central Kentucky Mystical Market. Yes, I will be there doing really bad tarot. And don't forget, I have a Patreon project, and if I ever get to 50 subscribers, I will take that cosplay to Scarefest, maybe even on the road, who knows. But anyway, I've got all the stuff, I just don't want to cut my shirt up unless I get 50 subscribers. Anyway, it tells about me recovering from my heart attack and this stuff that I do. So anyway, patreon.com/ScarefestRadio, even free memberships count towards the me doing the cosplay. And we're back with Rosemary Idisi. Okay, Rosemary, why no Facebook presence?
You know, good old Facebook. I don't want to offend anyone, but I
like the old fart sitting in front of you. It's for old people, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm more of a like Instagram. Don't roast TikTok, Twitter, but Facebook. I get on there every now and then, every once in a blue moon. It's great.
Wait. Okay, wait. You're more of a Twitter person than a Facebook person?
Yeah, kind of. I'll scroll on Twitter more than Facebook. Twitter's funny. Facebook is all like your grandma. No offense.
Well, too late for that. No, I get it. I really that was something I was asking. I'm just going to say that as a filmmaker,
right,
I would think you would just absolutely spam all of the outlets, including Facebook, because it takes them old people like me that have jobs and can buy movie tickets.
This is true.
Okay.
No, I've been inspired. I'm gonna be all over Facebook in 2024.
There you go.
Yeah.
Now Twitter, I used to love Twitter, but for some reason, Twitter to me has just gotten so, it's gotten dry. I don't know. I don't get Twitter anymore. I used to love it because I think what I liked about it was when the old days, long before you were on Twitter, you had 140 characters to give your thought.
Right.
And so whatever you said, it had to be succinct and, and now that you can,
write paragraphs.
Yeah, paragraph upon paragraph. That took all the fun out of it for me.
Yeah, it's a little much. Yeah.
So,
everything's monitored and yeah. I
and
get
see,
that.
I can't get into Instagram because I'm just not pretty enough.
Yes, you are. You could have an Instagram. I would follow you.
Well, I've got one, but I don't put anything on it. It just,
Oh.
I'm just not, oddly enough, okay, seriously, oddly enough, despite me being such an attention whore on the show, I'm not big into posting selfies.
Oh, I see.
No idea. And nobody gives a damn what I eat. So I can't do that. Anyway, okay. Tell me if, now, because you filmed this in one day, I don't know if this will apply. One of my questions, it was similar questions when we did the filmmaker panel at Scarefest, very similar to what I've asked you tonight. Mm-hmm. And, I asked what the most important part of the budget turned out to be. In other words, so I'm going to ask you that. Of the money you spent, what do you feel like you put, what's the best way to put it? The most important place you put your money.
Definitely our cinematographer. He just had an amazing camera. He had good angles. I mean, that's why the film looks like that. I would say that, or our editor. The editing, having a good editor to piece things together and cut things away, especially when things don't work. They're like tied. I feel like the cinematographer, he had to know how, first of all, we were just on that one set, and then he even did like the drone shots, everything. He was a key person. He made it look how I wanted to make it. Yeah, I'm torn right now between that or the editor, because there were scenes that just, we didn't have enough transitional scenes, so we'd have to cut it a certain way, and our editor, she was just amazing, just making it work and putting in, she was amazing. I just love everybody.
Now, you want to know the surprise answer that I got at Scarefest? Catering.
Ooh. See, we didn't have...
that's, I said it might not apply to you as much because you only had one day, but
Yeah.
The entire panel said yes. A happy crew makes a much better work environment. And
for sure.
It had not even occurred to me to worry about that.
Yeah, I ended up ordering, did this?
We should be good.
Okay. I ended up we ordered pizza for dinner, just pizza on pizza. And then for lunch, we had every type of chip. We had sandwiches. We just went to Costco. Well, our producer, Bryce, who's awesome, did a Costco trip and just bought everything. We had every snack, every drink, everything. So even after we were done filming, we still had so much stuff left over because I definitely overdid it. I had like a part of my budgeting. I probably over budgeted for food because I knew food was a big deal. So we bought way too much food. There's probably like 8 or 9 of us on set that day and too much food. So yeah, we were prepared.
Now, I'm okay. Now I got to think how to do this because I don't want to give spoilers because you're still on the film circuit.
Yeah.
How much? And you kind of alluded to it before. As far as the idea for the story and the Meisner method, how much of this really did feel true to life? True to your life. Because this is a very, I don't want to be insulting and say it, millennial movie. Everybody, okay, this is not a spoiler. It's based around, social media is one of the main characters in this movie. I'll put it that way.
Right.
So there you go. That's what I want to know. How much of the emotional part of it, that part of it, felt really, really, in other words, how important is that to you?
Super important, the most important. That's why I wrote it, because I actually, like I said, went glamping with my girls, and we were really just on our phones the whole time. And I was like, we're not even enjoying it. We were on our phones more than doing anything. So that's what played into the script. So it felt really real and relatable to me. I mean, we are Gen Z, unfortunately. I try to think I'm a millennial, but I'm Gen Z.
Okay.
And we are just on our phones the whole time. So I feel like for all of us, it was pretty easy to relate to. Because just the things I've seen people do some crazy things for attention, for clout, for fame. So yeah, I just kind of took that to the extreme, and I related to it. I wouldn't go that far, but I related to it.
Okay, now I have one more question, and now if you cannot answer this without giving a spoiler, just don't.
Okay.
What happened to the two friends? The two friends.
Mm-hmm. I think you know. I can't, but
no, I don't really know. And the reason I don't know, and I'm dancing around this, everybody, is that it didn't say, if what happened to them, if what I think happened to them, that doesn't seem true to the reaction that your character had.
Right.
After that.
Good, because she's evil.
Okay.
Which I want to touch on
She didn't
more.
come across as evil at that moment. I'll put it that way.
Exactly. But it just goes to show she's literally just delusional and just didn't even care, wanted to do this for, she knew what she wanted going into the trip and wanted to do this for social media, and literally didn't have any remorse really, except for the main guy.
Yeah, and then see that's like, fuck, kill him too. Who cares? Okay.
Exactly.
Barbara. Hello again. I feel like I only have a few questions left in me at this point, but we'll try it out. Hey. Okay. So now, as far as location, do you have any location wish lists? Like, if you're, even without knowing what other stories you have in you, are there any locations that you've been to or you visited or want to visit that you're like, I kind of want to go there and just get a feel for it?
Oh yeah. For sure Joshua Tree. That is just deserted. And that's where I wanted to film the film, kind of, because it's more deserted, but it's just crazy expensive out there. That I would love to film. Probably anywhere else in LA. LA is just massive, so there's a lot of places. Or out in the country. I might come out there to Kentucky. And
all right.
Yeah. There's just, I would film anywhere. But definitely Joshua Tree.
Well, I know the idea of a cabin, like you said, anything deserted, anything that seems like the movie X, where it's just like this huge farmhouse. You haven't seen that?
No, okay, I'm gonna write it down.
Oh, better add that to your watch list.
Yeah. X. Easy enough.
Yep, there's X, and then it'll be a trilogy once they're done filming Maxine. But yeah, so that was kind of like, it was a farmhouse with, I don't know if it would be considered a guest house kind of off the side, but really there wasn't anything else for miles,
Wow, that was what I wanted to do that so bad, but I just could not find a set like that. So we had to do what we had to do, but yes, for sure.
So you probably have a list now of what as far as budgetary needs goes, you probably have a list started, like, okay, this one's up here, so maybe that would be like in 5 years from now.
Yes, I do.
This one is down here. Okay, that's good.
Yeah, and it's a little scary just because everything is just so expensive. Like, I really thought I could make this film with $1,000. I really did, and yeah, I was quickly humbled. But I do think it's possible, but maybe not to the quality that I wanted it to be, is what I've learned. So for the quality that I would want a feature film to be, the right set, the right crew, the right cinematographer, the right quality, yeah, it would be a little bit of a high budget. So I would have to find some endorsers or something.
Absolutely. Now, as far as research goes, not just location, but as far as, I mean, music, sometimes the wrong music can either make or break a movie. I think we know that, right? So have you researched different musicians that you know there was a sound that you liked, or would you kind of want to stay lower end where you just kind of hire maybe a local composer that can put something together for you that has sort of a suspenseful, almost like in the 80s it was kind of like this I'm not going to think of how it was. It was kind of a I can't think of the name of it, but it was basically like just sounds, like scary sounds during a movie.
Right.
Like Halloween 3, if you haven't seen that.
Oh, I love Halloween.
There's a lot of that. You haven't, or you have?
Oh, I have. I love that.
Yes. So
yeah.
the kind of music that was in that, how it's just more suspenseful, but it's not, there's no lyrics. It's just kind of your bare bones.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, you could go that route, or you could go with, obviously, you know, higher end music later on too.
Yeah.
Now, is there anything that you've been kind of jotting down where, yes, this is music that I want, or even researching different things like, you know, as far as character development that you want to include in, you know, future plans for projects?
Yeah, for sure. I've been researching, working on character development. There's so much. I want to deep dive into each character if I were to do a feature. Well, as I start to work on the feature script, I'm definitely going to go in depth on each character. As far as the music, I've not really thought too much about that. We had an amazing composer, Gemma, who she's just worked on so many different films, and she literally hand wrote the music to the film. And she does that for a lot. So if I would want to bring her back for that. She just I told her my vision. I told her the tone I wanted. And yeah, I loved what she did. So yeah, that's as far as I've thought about that.
Well, perfect. So you have someone on hand that you can technically take with you to each project.
Exactly. And I met her at Playhouse West as well. So she's an amazing student, and she wasn't even there really for acting. She kind of wanted to get an idea of it, but her main job is she's a composer. So I literally just asked her and she came on board.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Way to go with finding that one.
Yeah, that one was easy.
All right, timing wise tells me it's right back to Wes again now.
I'm not used to having anybody do this on time. Anyway, the Missing Element Shop, that is Spirit Mechanics. Spirit Mechanics, our longtime sponsor, has a brick and mortar store, 1018 East New Circle Road, Unit 114 in Lexington. SpiritMechanics.com on the web. Look them up. The Missing Element Shop is your one-stop shop for Spirit Mechanics, Stevens, Healing Vibrations, Metaphysical Supplies, books, divination, altar supplies, tarot and oracle decks, handmade glassware and spirit boards, vibrational sound healings using the singing bowls and tuning forks, courtesy of Stephen Tyree. Everything metaphysical in one spot, everybody, and you can catch some of the team at the Central Kentucky Mystical Market. But if you're in Lexington and you got some time, check them out. 1018 East New Circle Road. They keep like hours and everything. Vibrational sound healing sounds like bullshit. Give it a try if you get a pain. And now we're going over to Bonehead.
Hey, Scarefest fans, this is Joe Lewis of Bonehead Weekly. Sorry, have something in my mouth. Probably from Thanksgiving. White meat, dark meat, all will be carved. Eli Roth made a trailer, a faux trailer, a fake trailer, along with Edgar Wright and a few other people, for a movie called Grindhouse 13, 14, 15 years ago. Actually, I didn't even bother to look it up. And the cool thing about Grindhouse, and what I loved about it when it came out, was that you got a double feature with fake trailers. Like you had a fake trailer in the beginning, then the first feature, which was Planet Terror, directed by Robert Rodriguez, and then you had other trailers in between, and then you had Death Proof, which was Tarantino's horror film with Kurt Russell. Now, Death Proof's the better movie of the two, but it was a fantastic 3 hours in the theater, double feature experience, and it tanked in the box office that week and came out sometime in the spring during Easter with a couple of other horror films, and it just was bad timing, was not handled well. That being said, loved the experience. And then all this time later, 15, 13, however how many years it is, we get Thanksgiving. which was Eli Roth's trailer for that movie. Is it any good? It's okay. A lot of people have been complimenting this movie. I mean, a lot of people have been complimenting this movie. A lot of people I see. And truthfully, I hate to throw out to our super fan out there, Barbara, but it's okay. It's okay. A lot of the compliments I've seen is it was like a Scream sequel. This is not a Scream movie. It isn't. I know. I get a lot of people criticizing me for not liking the Scream films. I do like Scream, the first one. That's about it. The rest of them are not necessary. They're ridiculous, and they're always trying to somebody's third cousin's cat's the killer, and you never know. There's never enough information. It's just stupid. That being said, Thanksgiving is a little bit better than that. However, it's just okay. It's a slightly watered down version, not by much. This is pretty gory and pretty gory, yeah. But it's a slightly watered down version of the trailer. All the highlights that you saw in the trailer are in this movie. So yay for you, except for the knife doesn't quite go into the cheerleader the same place it did in the trailer. And you'll know what I'm talking about if you've seen Grindhouse. The rest of them, pretty much the same. People, blood, turkey getting its head chopped off. I liked it. I got a little bored a couple of times. My main criticism with this film, I didn't really care about any of the people, but that's not even it. When you cast a star, it's pretty much one of the only ones, and you're sitting there trying to figure out the killer, you know who the killer is the first 10 or 15 minutes of this movie. There's no mystery. There is absolutely no. In fact, even when it's revealed, I thought you could have done a no. It's who you think it is from the get-go. It is who you think it is from the get-go. There's no mystery to this movie. I guess that's my main criticism. I don't know. I like the movie okay. It's not terrible at all. In fact, it's great that we're getting... I think I'm just not a big slasher person, to be honest. But if you like slasher films, Thanksgiving, very bloody, gory, not necessarily scary, bunch of puns, a lot of good humor in it. The opening scene is the best part. The opening scene, the Black Friday massacre at the front of the movie is the best part of what sets up John Carver for getting retribution on this small town. So check out Thanksgiving, especially if you're into slasher films or you love that trailer. It's not bad. I enjoyed it. I just think people are saying it's meh, and I say no, it's about middle of the road. So check out Thanksgiving. Don't break your neck. This has been Joe Lewis, Bonehead Weekly. All will be carved.
And welcome back, everybody, to the last few minutes of Scarefest TV with Rosemary Idisi, our wonderful guest, who is danced so delicately around how old I am. Anyway, okay, this is her bullshit round, we like to call it. What's your favorite horror movie?
Favorite, don't laugh, Paranormal Activity. The first one.
Well, that's about as...
I think that because that movie traumatized me. I was actually genuinely traumatized. I could not be in a room by myself. Like, any little sound, any little movement, I'm thinking I'm about to die. I think that's why that's my favorite. Or Jeepers Creepers.
Oh,
You're
yeah.
gonna like that one too.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm...
Have you seen Jeepers Creepers?
Oh, yes, I've seen Jeepers Creepers.
Okay.
I was just trying to process. Jeepers Creepers does not... Actually, it does kind of surprise me that that it would fall in your... I'm not saying it's not a good movie. Don't get me wrong.
Okay.
I'm just saying it's just not the typical answer. And then Paranormal Activity, I think that is, that's one of those Gen Z things in it.
Yeah. It was scary. Like, if you're... Yeah. The movie traumatized me.
No, it's fair enough. See, now I get to go way back. I'm a Hellraiser guy. I've not even watched the movie that many times, but I remember watching that movie going, wow, this is really fucked up.
Okay, see, now I know what Hellraiser is, but I don't think I've actually ever sat down and, like, watched it.
Oh, sit down and watch it. Yeah, watch Hellraiser.
I'm watching X and Hellraiser.
Oh, those Cenobites, they're going to haunt me forever.
Yeah.
Cenobites.
So, okay, the movie, I know that Scarefest could not be the only festival that recognized the goodness that is glamping. Tell us how your film festival circuit has gone so far.
Extremely well. I also won. We had a massive festival at Playhouse West, and I won Best Actress for that. And then the guy Abraham, who played Gabe, my boyfriend in the film, won Best Actor. It was very well received. We got so much good feedback from that. And then it went to Days of the Dead, LA, and I forget where the other location was. I didn't attend, but it got nominated for so many different categories. I was also nominated for Best Actress there as well, but I didn't win. But that was an amazing convention. I went here in LA. It was awesome. And then it went to like Spooky House Empire. It went to just a bunch of Halloween festivals. So now we're kind of break now that Halloween's over, and I've just been submitting to so many in LA and just waiting to hear back. But it was very well received. So I'm super proud, super happy. Yeah.
Do we get the little laurels on the future prints of it?
Oh, for sure. For sure. It's on my to-do list. So when I put it up, I'm going to do just like a still or something and put all the...
Well, yeah. We don't expect a commercial or anything. No, it's fun. No, reason I bring that up is, it seems to me by the time, I guess because we're later in the year, technically, I don't know how this all works out, but it seems like it's always the trailer for all of the films that we get in our festival. It'll have one so-and-so at the Bob Edwards Film Festival. And I'm like, I never see anybody bragging on us. And so I'm just putting it out there.
Oh, good to know. You know what? I'm going to go back to that trailer right after this call. We're going to fix that.
Yeah, now you're just saying stuff to me. I'm trying to think why I even made this note here. Somebody made a reference about not knowing who the killer was, and I don't even remember what it was in context of. I recommended this week School Spirits on Netflix.
I know what that is. Haven't watched it yet. Let me add it to the list.
He's adding to her list.
It's not horror per se. In other words, there's no slasher type to it. But the reason I made a note of that is no matter who you think the killer is, it wasn't them.
It wasn't. This is true.
Just spoiler alert. You will. I think that's what I liked about it is that every episode, and it's eight episodes. Every episode, I'm like, well, if it wasn't them, then who the hell is? And I mean, it really kept me on the edge of the seat, and that's.
Wow, I gotta watch that.
Yeah, it's one of the few I was looking forward to just to find out what the hell happened next. Unlike Gotham, which I did a review of Gotham on my blog, only through season 3, and it's a good damn thing because season 4 sucked ass. Yeah, it just and see in the middle of season 5 they just went in and put a bullet between the eyes and got rid of it. Anything else on your notes, Barbara? Or do I just have to bullshit for 5 more minutes?
Not really. It's Wes, it's like you're in my head because I was going to ask her what her favorite, scary movie was, and you're just right there. I was like, dang it, Wes.
Well, that's
that's okay.
There's only one ball in the softball game.
Oh, that's good. I'm taking that.
And everybody, I cannot believe she told it. This is your first actual video podcast.
Yes, this is a first for me, and I love it. I think that I have found a new passion. I'm about to try to find every podcast I can be on. Just be like, hey.
You should.
You
were always on this one first, right, Wes?
Oh,
that's right.
It's a year of first. You always remember your first.
That's right.
See, we used to do it as an audio podcast and Scarefest Radio.
Right.
And then Brandon Griffith, when he became the new owner of Scarefest 5-6 years ago, he said, "Hey Wes, why don't you do video?" And I said, "No." I said, "It's too hard. It takes too long. Blah blah blah." Well, he finally talked me into it, and overnight, we get the numbers were better. It became more of a phenomenon, if you will.
Oh, for sure. I think video podcasts are significantly better. I would rather watch a video podcast, I think. Yeah.
Well, yeah, you'd rather. watch a video podcast and watch an audio podcast.
Ah!
Ah! Yeah, no, but see, I have to see, that's my problem. And at my age, it's hard to stay ahead of the curve because we got into this, not everybody was doing these things. And now it's gotten easier to do and everybody's doing them. And so now I got to figure out something else to do. And that might be actually drive around to people's houses. That's the only thing I get left.
That sounds a little creepy, Wes.
I don't know about that one. I don't know about that. You lost me.
Right? You're on your own,
Rosemary, yeah, knock on your door. Anyway, that's what happened. Not the creepiest thing I've ever said on this show, though. So anyway, Rosemary, you've been a lot of fun tonight, and I want to thank you for coming on. And I wish you all the luck in the world now with this current project and in the future. I think you have big things ahead of you.
Thank you so much. This has been so fun. I'm so excited. I'm so glad I did this. And you all are amazing. Thanks for having me.
Well, you're very welcome. And next week on Scarefest TV, Brandy Roderick is coming on. Brandy Roderick, who had a little film in our festival called Wineville that was runner-up for the best feature film. So, we'll be back next week. Want to thank Barbara Jane for coming on. Barbara, thank you so much for hopping on very, very short notice. You can speak. You're not muted.
Oh, I can speak?
Yeah.
Well, thanks for having me. It was fun.
And everybody, she'll be back in the future. We just kind of moved her debut up a couple of months. But we'll see you next week with more Scarefest TV.